Mental health is your mental wealth. You gotta look after yourself.
This podcast creates a space for conversation around real experiences with mental health, trauma, violence, and/or substance misuse. We have this conversation without labels, judgment, or pressure. Each guest's stories is their own, and sharing is always voluntary. The guests choose what to share and how much. Please be aware of your limits and stop watching if needed. Let's get this conversation started. Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I have a good friend with me today. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Tell us where you from.
Hello everybody, my name is Shapiro Hanif, but I'm also known in the Islamic circle as Hanif. I grew up partially here and in Chicago from 86 to 94 when I caught my case, back and forth. And I grew up struggling like most, black underclass families in the urban area. And, back and forth from Chicago, we moving here. I grew up in the 30s, the trades everybody knows. So, we had it rough, no facade. We definitely had it hard. Putting food in the snow to keep the food cold, using hot pots, eating served sandwiches and grilled cheese. So, struggle ain't to be taken lightly to me. I don't take it lightly because financial literacy everybody needs financial literacy. If you don't know how to have no money, it don't matter if you become rich. If you don't know what to do with it, it don't matter. But going back to the topic of how important mental health, drugs has been around since I don't know how long. I mean, from alcohol to everything else. And my father, he was a drug dealer, you know what I'm saying? I looked up to him, tried to be like him. He been selling dope, my mama say, since, he went from weed to cocaine. And I go to Chicago every summer, you know what I'm saying? He got a new car from a deuce and a quarter to a big body 9.8. He kept flipping them up. He kept a car. And, it was a sport. To me, at that time, the drug game was a sport, just like basketball, just like anything else. It was a sport. Who could get it off the quickest, who could get the most money, who could get the most women, all that. So, and being influenced by that, I wanted to take my little step to it because the money was fast, it was lucrative, you know what I mean? So, but me not knowing that the devastation that it did to our people as a collective. See, a lot of people don't look at the devastation. They don't care.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They don't. All they care about is this.
Right.
And that's all the girls see, the other kids see, that's it. But you don't care about little Moo ain't got nothing to eat. His mama gone. She done sold a whole house, the couch, the stereo for the bump.
Right.
Don't nobody care about that.
Right.
So, looking at that, I was talking to one of my brothers about that the other day, like, man, you don't really care about the effect, the kids, and they go from generation to generation to generation to generation. And it's hard to deal with. And so I had got popped off for a homicide. I was angry. I was upset. I couldn't make the money that I wanted. And, people was talking crazy. And, I'm the oldest of 5. So when it come to leadership, I'm familiar with it. I understand. I got 3 sisters, 1 brother, you know what I mean? So, and my mama was struggling too. She was working, I think she was working 2 jobs. And, we didn't have it. We were struggling, man. Mayonnaise sandwiches and all. So, and this affected me because it affected everybody. It affected everybody, and I was hungry. I was mad. They got a saying in Chicago when I was growing up: broke, starving, and gangbanging. And people be broken from the inside out.
Right.
So when we look at these kids, it's inside. It start inside. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you said that. And so I'm big on words, right? And you said the underclass, right? And I I don't think we the underclass. We gonna think of a new terminology for that, because we're not the underclass.
Okay.
You know, we just, you know, trying to catch up a little bit. We just in a different space. But I don't ever want us to think we're the underclass. But I hear that's just one of my things, because for me, words are powerful.
Yeah, indeed.
It's powerful, the words. And that stuck out when you said, I'm like, no, you wasn't the underclass.
Yeah.
You know, but we gonna think of something, a new
Man,
word for that,
mayonnaise
right?
sandwiches.
Right. Man, the mayonnaise sandwiches was good though. I ain't gonna lie. You don't know. Look, until you had something different, you ain't know it wasn't good, right? So I met you, instantly recognized real out the gate,
No
right?
doubt, no doubt.
And the work that you doing now, understand it better, the work you do now, just from the little bit you just shared, by where you came from, and then realizing the devastation that you was putting on. So now you give back to your community in the work that you do. I thought about you right away. So when you hear me say, or somebody say, your mental health is your mental wealth, how does that impact you now? Or what does it mean to you now?
It's paramount. It's paramount. Like, if you don't have no mental health, you can't do nothing. Your mental health is more important than anything. I say your mental health and knowing, you know, having some type of, like I said, the financial literacy. Those are two important things that you gotta have. Because, like, for us who done been to prison, who came back, if you don't have no mental health, you can't make it through no prison bit. Calling on the phone all the time, begging all the time, hungry all the time, all that stuff mess with you. And when you go to prison, I tell the young brothers, bro, they gonna put you on medication. The medication line long, real long. So, and drugs has been in the black community forever. We turn to alcohol. We turn to, you know, I ain't knocking nobody, because I got down too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just, you need a support system. If you don't have a support system out here, you gonna do what it takes to survive.
I'm glad you said that part too. Like, every time I talk to somebody that come on, they say things that I've been trying to push, you know, and that support means a lot, right?
Yes.
And I know you and I were having a conversation earlier, just the relationship between our community, our black community, with females and males, and understanding that, you know, I always tell somebody pushing the fact that just because I'm a black female, I'm kind of moving in silence. So unless I have to tell you, you know, what I have in life, and the only reason I have certain degrees or certain accolades is because I had to literally kick in a door to get in that space. Because I have a story too. So once I hit that roadblock and realized, man, now not only being this black female, a light-skinned black female, right? The dilemmas that I had, now I put a monkey wrench in the game, right? So now I got to kick down some more doors. So now I have to sit down and think, what do I got to do? Because I got to play both arenas right now, because we got to win, right? So I hear that, and it's the real. I hear you saying, you know, you shared you went to prison. I don't know how much you want to elaborate. You already kind of explained or said what it was for. So now you share that time, but did that shape your mental health? That you see in it now, but what do you wish somebody would have told you then? How did it shape you to where you are now?
It's of utter importance. It's imperative. It's extremely important. Because, like, okay, let's go back for a minute, Desi. You know, SSI was cracking.
Yes.
Yeah.
They fed that to us.
Yes.
Really, the black community, they fed it to us.
Yeah. You know, SSI was cracking. You know, they'll give you a psychological evaluation. Okay. Where you had to put blocks and stuff on stuff. And a lot of my guys called it superciliary income, because you had to act like you was mentally incapable. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'm going to put something else out there about myself. I was in LD I had a learning disability. And when I grew up, it wasn't so much that I had a learning disability. I had a consistency disability, to stay consistent, to keep going, to be constant on one task until I complete it. Like now I tell people, some people good at multitasking. Okay, that's cool. But I'm the type of person, I like to get something done, then go on.
Right.
The more I get done, the more polished I am up
Right.
here. You know what I mean? I had to realize that about myself. So when you go to prison, you in a structured foundation. Every child, every human being needs structure. All of us need structure.
I'm glad you said that, because I was going to ask, do you think that it wasn't so much a learning disability, you just learned differently?
I would agree with that.
And then, you know, I see now so many of us are misdiagnosed, specifically the black males, right? And that one diagnosis, that ADHD,
or ADD.
right, okay, the attention deficit disorder or the attention deficit hyper disorder, right? And one thing that I push, and I'm glad you brought this up, is that we need to really learn what that is. When somebody said you was LD, not because your mama didn't care, it's just we didn't know. We didn't talk about it. So now it's just like, okay, and then they push, oh, and you can get this check.
Exactly.
So now, okay, you could get a check. So now we kind of teaching the kid, like you said, go in there and act this way and act that way because we need the income. So they kept doing different things, and I'm not no theorist and none of that. But it's evidence show, right? So it's not that a person had a learning disability. It's they learned differently. Right. And so I'm glad that you brung that up. Because no one, you know, I'm talking, and everybody has their own experience, and I'm glad you shared that, because we need to talk about it more.
Definitely.
And I've been pushing for a long time that we need to get in these elementary schools with a lot of these programs we have, because they start at 14, some start at 16. The grants tell you specifically what ages to start at. But, you know, I have my own organization, and then I've worked with other places and was afforded the opportunity to do go in schools, elementary schools. And when I have a 5-year-old, and when I get a chance to talk to them, and there's no ADHD going on, the boy didn't go to bed till 4 o'clock this morning, had to get up at 6. He's sleepy. You know what I'm saying? When you going through that, and then you said the superciliary income is funny. I never heard that, by the way, right?
Yeah, because you was playing the role, like you say, for a check.
But it's we've conditioned ourselves, right? And so that's why I think it's so important to have people like you come on. We talk about it because we need to make it normal. You taught me something, right? The superciliary income, that's something. It's funny, we joke about it.
Yeah, but it was real.
But it's real. It's real. And we have to start changing that narrative.
Yes, indeed.
Like you said, it go from generation to generation to generation. And we really need to change that narrative.
We do. Yes, we do.
And we really need to come together.
Address it. Come together and address it.
Address it. So your experiences that you saying that you talked about, how did you cope emotionally, behaviorally? You kind of talked about it. And how did those experiences impact the choices that you made?
I was disgusted with myself. I'm going to keep it real.
Okay.
Because I had turned into a human devil. I was mad. I was filled with hatred. When you, look, like I told you, we around the city at 414 Life. And
shout out to 414 Life. I got to give a shout out. Shout out.
Yes.
Great work.
Yes.
Go ahead.
We around the city. We in schools. I come from the ghetto. Still a ghetto boy. You know what I mean? So you hungry. Your mama ain't at home. Your daddy in the streets. a term we use in prison. When you gamble on ass in prison, you got 50 niggas behind you ready to fight because y'all broken inside. You lying, you playing bro out some money. You know he ain't gonna go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got niggas finna ride. You gambling on ass and elbows. You really don't got no money.
Right.
It's a pump fake. Cash might be mad at me for dropping the game, but it's what we hurt. We hurting out here.
We hurting,
we
right?
hurting.
Right.
We hurting
right.
for
and
certain.
we doing it out here now.
Yeah,
though.
we looking for a way to come up. Like Psychodrama said, hurting for certain, looking for a way to come up.
Right.
You looking for a come up off anything, and you willing to do anything for it. That's why the kids crashing out.
Right.
I don't call them YNs because I was.
Right.
I'm not finna.
Right.
I'm reaching out to them. I'm doing outreach work
Right.
to help, to assist. Not for no clout. I ain't chasing no clout.
No.
That's me.
Right.
Little bro, little moo-moo, little Daquan, Davey. I got nephews in jail. I'm for real.
Right.
I ain't here for brownie points. I don't give a fuck about you liking me or you not liking me. I'm really here to help.
Exactly.
The sisters, the brothers, because we was there. That's what my sister gonna tell you. That's why she don't want nobody work. If you don't got no lived experience, she don't want to deal with you. Because most people looking for a title, they looking for some fame, they want a name.
The likes,
they
views,
want the likes, the views,
and not really. And that's why I want to talk to everybody and anybody that's real first and foremost.
Right.
But I do think even the ones we will view as maybe not real, I think they could drop some jewels too, because
everybody.
Somebody it's the pain.
Yes.
And so
yes.
I know, and I've been thinking over the years, every year, and I think and I lose people to drugs, to different things.
Car
so I'm thinking, so we out here, we steady saying stop the violence, and I've said this ever since I work. I don't talk a lot when I'm in spaces, but what I will say when I get with certain people, and I tell them, look, violence is derived off of emotion, impulsive emotion at that, which is usually hurt and anger, which are secondary emotions from something else, right?
Yes.
So I don't think we really gonna stop it. How can we now start interrupting it? What can we do? And the Blueprint for Peace has it, and the Cure Violence model definitely approaches it. But we got to start healing.
Right. I think we have to address the issues. Like what we talking about is mental health. We got to check up on people. We do the checkups every day at work. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, where you at? How you feeling? Do you have a question? And to me, when you talk to the youth, you got to address their issues. To have an impact with you, Desi, is to address your issue. What's the problem? Why you hungry? Why you ain't in school? Where your mind at? Where mom's at? Where pop's at? You got to talk about real life issues, the 3 R's. Realistic, relevancy, and being, what's the other one? Realistic, relevancy, and relatable. You got to be relatable. We can relate to each other.
Right.
I'm from the same community.
Right.
I ain't finna alienate you. Oh, them YNs over there, stay away from them. That's why we divided. And like I tell my sister, I'm tired of us hating each other over insignificant, invalid, trivial matters. It's frivolous. It's not even real.
Right.
You don't like me and you really don't even know me.
That part. You know nothing about, and you can ask somebody, like, what's the problem? I work with people and they really can't tell me.
Exactly.
And I know I had, shout out to Cole Red, that he had a guest on that I become very close with. I didn't know him prior, and he had did 51 years. And one of the messages that he said is like, you get in there, there's no guns, there's no Crips, there's no Bloods. You gonna end up in the same cell with that person you was fighting with.
Exactly.
So what y'all gonna do?
Exactly.
And your homie's not in there with you.
Homie's not in there.
You got a whole new crew you got to get to know, but they don't know you either.
They don't know you.
I know one of my favorite movies is American History X.
Yes.
Because it really, to me, dictates and depicts so many scenarios, and when I watch movies, I watch them so differently. Right. You said a lot and it kind of leads right into the trauma that we have in.
Yeah, because
the hurt.
It's a makeup. Your physical, spiritual, mental, they all make up who you are as a person. So a person is going through poverty, pain, hurt, disappointment. It's going to push you to drugs. It's going to push you to crime. Crime is about money, okay? People get money off pain. They get money off trauma, drama, guns, shooting. Our government gets paid for sending guns, go help people kill each other, prisons. They get paid off all that. You see what I'm saying? And it's been designed that way. A lot of us don't know that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And we didn't know that. You see what I'm saying? They pitting us against each other. I heard a CO say to another inmate, who will win between y'all? Me and you go to the same cell hall. We live in the same cells. And you letting the police put the cables on you, talking about who will win between me and you. You talking about, you say, I win. So I say, it ain't gonna be over with till somebody dead, because I'm playing for keeps. I'm not finna, you letting massa dictate how me and you rock. And we getting paid pennies, going to the store, hungry, starving, working in the kitchen. Anybody know that kitchen is where it's at. If you done been to prison, you know that. Anybody know that. You know what I mean? So
I want to just clarify, the master, we not talking white or black.
Right.
Because the master may look just like us.
Exactly.
In those positions, because that goes kind of, we've been talking about it. But how have do you feel, and have you seen, and we talked about it, but I want to emphasize how the trauma intersects with violence, substance misuse, and those risky situations, right? You've been speaking on it. So I'm going to assume that you know that's real.
Yeah.
And you see it.
Right.
You see it, right? And I see it in even in prison.
Yes.
And then we're not, the violence is not the problem, it becomes our solution. Just like substance misuse. That's not the problem. No. It's the solution.
Exactly.
It becomes the solution.
Yeah.
I'm escaping something.
Yeah. Well, let me say this, Desi. The predator and prey mentality. Let's talk about that.
That's
Predator and prey.
Right.
Survival mode.
Right.
People, when you going through all that trauma, Desi, you gonna pick a side. You know that. I know that. We both, our community know that. The government know that. We all know that. That you either going by going through the trauma, you're gonna either become a predator or you're gonna become the prey.
Right.
An old school told me this. He said the difference between a prison and an institution is the mentality. When you go to prison down south, you gotta click up, else you're gonna become somebody's property. That's what America about, Desi. The land and the property. We were property.
Yep. Yeah.
When you go to prison, everybody talking about their property. That's what it's about. Right. And through this, the way capitalism is ran, with the mentality and the trauma and the mental scars, you're gonna become the predator or the prey. Yeah.
You're right. You're right. And that's how it is out here.
Yes.
And that's why we gotta start sticking together, because we are definitely stronger together.
Right.
Or they gonna win every time. And you made me think of, we could talk forever about the prisons and when they decide to start building them, but it's a documentary called 13th Amendment on Netflix. Have you watched it?
No, I never. No.
It gave me a new light on how we still enslaved. And I want to clarify, when I say the enslaved, it's not by race anymore. It's by economic levels.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. Drop it.
Anybody below a certain level, they not accepted either.
Right.
Right? yes, we are more disproportionate,
Mm-hmm.
the African black brown race,
Mm-hmm.
but that mentality go by economics,
Exactly.
right?
See?
So I do want to
Yeah.
make sure that's clear
Yes.
from my
Correct.
perspective.
Yeah.
But looking back now,
Mhm.
and how have you grown and come as far as with your mental health,
Mhm.
what do you wish you knew back then about it, or wish somebody would have told you? Or
I wish I had a support system. I'm gonna always go back to the support system because what's stopping the black man and the black woman from coming together and uniting is that we don't trust each other.
bingo.
We trust the government more than we trust each other.
Mm-hmm.
Back in Milwaukee, when we came up here, it was a lot of black stores. I remember Al's on 44th, or
Mm-hmm.
between 44th and 43rd and Center. I remember the Loves had a lot of property in the inner city. And we talk about this at work.
Mm-hmm.
Why we not taking advantage and we see the Latino brothers coming over and building stuff and taking over? Because we can't get along because we don't trust each other.
Right.
And I always say this too. I went to the hole in prison for the Willie Lynch letters. People like, oh man, you bullshit, you just talk. No. Well, you light-skinned, I'm dark-skinned, I don't have, you have. Mm-hmm. It's been political. That's been the mentality. That's trauma. That's stress.
Mm-hmm.
Worrying about the bills, the car note, the food, the kid. That's stress.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And that'll kill you. Stress kills you slow.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because
right.
your thoughts become uncontrollable. I can't control. That's stress. Yeah. That's eating at your mentality. You ripping and running here and there and there. And it's killing you here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so if you can't function here, you die.
That was a jewel.
You dying.
Period.
Yes.
And that's the whole reason that I'm bringing us on.
Yeah.
I was afforded the opportunity because my support didn't come from where I thought it should have came from. Right. I had support growing up, but it's not my story time. But now, trying to be in this field, right? Trying to just do what's right. You know, I'll say this, I'm off 16th, Atkinson, woo-woo, and we stuck together.
Right.
Everybody knew, like, I'm coming out. What's going on? You know, and we valued each other's value, right? And I go in spaces now and people be like, she ghetto. I probably am. I don't know how. Look, I have to ask ghetto. People, I feel like, what do they mean by that? Like, I get around my friends like, they said I was ghetto. Like, what did I do? Yeah. Maybe it's just me. I can't, take me out of me. But I do definitely know I got to put different hats on to get in different places. And I think I'll be thinking I'm fairly well. Right. I used to get highly offended. I share that just to say, but now I don't because, one, I know what the definition of ghetto is. See, y'all using it wrong. Because the ghetto was just a group of people, a class of people. And the first ghetto was the Jewish ghetto. Right. We'll drop that out, right? Yeah. Coming over up in New York. Yeah. So let's drop that, right? Yeah. And it's just the same class of people working together. Right. I will be ghetto all day. If I could get my same class of people and we work together, let's do that.
Yeah, but I don't think that's ghetto. I think ghetto...
No, but I'm saying that's the true definition of ghetto.
Okay.
What we see it as.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What you about to drop on what ghetto is, right? Yeah. I was just saying, like, when I was offended because I'm looking at it how we use it. The term how we use it as ghetto. The content that we using it in. Yeah. I got highly offended. Yeah. But I'm the type of person, because I kind of didn't understand, so now but Google wasn't really then. You had to look in that Brown dictionary.
You already know. Yeah.
So I'm looking in the dictionary of what it was.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, that's not too offensive, right? It's kind of cool. I'm with my same group of people. It's the same class of people. Your economic level, your race, your same class, right?
But I got a question for you.
Yes. What is it?
The reason, okay, Why was black people so successful and prosperous with Wall Street, with Rosewood, and all that, all these communities that we built? Why was we so successful?
I can only give you my answer because I don't know. But when I look back at it, and I have ancestry history with people in Tulsa, my shout out to Oklahoma, a lot of family down there, and some of my ancestors was a part of the Black Wall Street, and I've seen that. I think it's just that divide and conquer mentality that we've allowed to happen and come in, and that's why for me, that like now I'm on this stronger together. We have to get together. Even then though, those people, they weeded out the people. You know, they had the house folks, you know, that was not going to turn on Master. And now Master is us. We keeping us down.
Exactly.
Right? And instead of us, like, everybody cannot be the chief.
No.
However, to understand to be the best leader, you got to know when you need to follow. So I see leaders now, and I sit back and watch. They just got to take over everything. They got to do everything. They got to say everything. They got to, they can't delegate nothing. And if they delegate it, it's very minute what they allow somebody to do, right? And the only reason I'm kind of seeing them doing that is because somebody else said they need to do it.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's what you said. We lack the trust.
Yep.
We lack understanding of healthy behaviors and healthy relationships, not only in a intimate home environment relationship, but also work relationships, peer relationships.
Yeah.
We lack that,
Yeah.
and we sit back and can't be real. So
Yeah.
I think that's where it started when they came in. You know, I read the conspiracy theories, and I have to pick what I want to believe on there. But I do believe that we've been almost brainwashed.
Exactly.
To think, you know, and yeah, I'll say that I'm not going to go there because their prices are too high. But then I sit back and say, well, their prices got to be high. Black owned, nobody is patronizing them. So they got to raise their prices. But unfortunately, I can't afford it.
Exactly.
It don't mean that I don't want to patronize.
Right.
It means I can't afford it.
Right.
But I've seen people that I went to that I tried to, like, let's rally together. I talked to somebody, everybody talking about this one person that always talking about these people come in and, you know, the Indians or the whoever other races are taking over. But what did they do? They stuck together.
Right. Yeah.
They bought these properties. I know somebody, and the only reason I'm not saying names is because I haven't cleared it with them, and I don't know if they want them to know, but I had a meeting. They like, look, I tried to get all of these same young brothers to get together and buy this building.
Yeah.
Get somebody to come in and educate them on how it would be split, what they split would be.
Right.
A huge building, because you crying about the other races coming buying it.
Right.
And nobody wanted to put their money together.
Exactly. See?
Nobody wanted to trust the process.
Nope.
And it goes back to the trauma that they dealt with, right? And the unhealed of them. So it becomes this vicious cycle. So that would be my
your answer. And I agree with your answer.
Right. So and then and right now my only I don't even know if I want to call it a mission, a movement, what it is, right?
I think it's a movement.
Is to get this conversation to be common. Then we won't be afraid, and we can start building up trust.
Right.
Because the reason I don't trust is because of my unhealed. I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah, I am too. We all are.
You know, and so because of the unhealed part of me, I sit back. I move different than a lot of people.
Yes, you do.
Right? I move totally different. right? I could be in a room and people won't even know I'm there. You know, with people I'm okay with, I'll talk all day.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, but people you
I
don't
don't know.
Yeah,
I got to sit back.
Yeah.
I got to
You
observe.
gotta watch
And I got to
it.
sit with my back against
Yeah.
the wall.
Yeah.
You know, I noticed
Yeah.
this. And I say, when I really realized how just unhealed I was and still stigmatized around mental health is when I lost my husband.
Right.
Because then it was in my face.
Right.
Like, I did reach out to a couple people.
Yeah.
3 exact.
Right.
Black males that I truly trusted. And I don't have to say their names because that people know who I didn't talk to.
Right.
Those 3. And they helped the best they could.
Right.
And what I learned from that is they didn't know really how to help.
Exactly.
So then you got, you know, and I'm like, and me being a black female, and it's like you can't go really against your man, your husband. That was my husband. Because it's like you can't violate that. So we can't ask for help. Because it's just this vicious cycle.
And it generation to
right.
generation.
And then I had to realize I was embarrassed. That's a stigma.
Yeah.
I had fear.
Yeah.
All of those were stigmas that was in my face.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm about to start talking about it. And then I shared, I don't do stuff on Facebook.
Right.
But I had to share somebody, I was talking to somebody that I don't want to say I look up to them, to her, but I admire her. Right. I can't say I look up to her. I like the work she does. I do admire other black women. I strive to be them. I take the value that they giving out, and that's what I want to get from them, right? And she was talking to me, and out the blue, she said, girl, you don't know how many people was mad at you when you started talking about your husband and that stuff. Girl, I was proud. I want you to know I was proud of you. I looked almost how you just look, like, what? Yeah. But now I'm trying to keep, you know, like, I don't want to go that because now it then struck a nerve emotionally and all of that. But my mind is racing, like, what? Who said that? She was like, girl, and she just was talking. She does not know. And she see this, and when she read it on Facebook, she probably figured it out then. But I was in shock, like, who is upset that I literally talked about it? But then I read the comments, some of the comments under there. So I started picking out. And guess what? It all go back to stigma. Because they were embarrassed that I'm talking about something that they don't want nobody to know, right, because this is their hero. Yeah. But guess what? He was my ultimate hero. But I do believe I failed because I had stigmas that I didn't realize I had. Maybe if I would have started this conversation prior, maybe, you know, but if it was a fifth, we'd be drunk. We don't know. But it taught me, I knew that if I could just help one other person, disclaimer, never trying to save the world, because everybody can't be saved. No. There are some real people. There are some real Ted Bundys out here. You can't, but the majority of us, we just need that structure and that support. I ain't forget.
And going back to it, I be listening to a lot of our scholars and people. This, like, I respect everybody, but as black people, a lot of times we do want to appeal to other people about who we are. And too much of wanting to fit in and appeal to people is not important. What's important is the family structure, the family knit. That's more important than fame. That's more important than position.
Right.
We care more about how I'm looked at in somebody's eyes than having a strong knit function.
Right.
That's more important.
Right.
And I like how you move. You ain't looking for, I told you that. You're not looking for the limelight. You're not looking for all that. You really want to help. Right. But a lot of people, they distracted by fame, fortune, and followers.
Right.
That's what they want. That's their ultimate.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you really can't, you just got to sidestep them.
Right.
You know?
I just want to say to the followers, join the movement.
Yes.
Join the healing
improvement movement.
Right. That's what we trying to get into. That's the only followers I want.
Right.
Call me. Like I've been and I've talked nationally about it.
Yeah.
I don't,
Because that's your priority.
and I ain't made a dime, so anybody know I don't have no money off of none of them. It's just getting the word out.
Right.
Quit ignoring us.
Right.
Quit overlooking us.
Right.
We need these resources.
Right.
We need to start healing. We need more people to know to talk about it, because you don't have to have a degree. Let me help you understand. Them people with them degrees are just good test takers.
Exactly.
They just know how to pass that test.
Yes.
I'll be the first to admit it took me 3 times to pass it, because I'm not a good test taker. Because those questions, that evidence-based stuff, was not based on the people I work with.
Right.
It's evidence-based for somebody else. It's a good guide.
Right.
Do not get me wrong. I learned from it, right?
Right.
But when an 8-year-old boy told, it wasn't me, but I was there, do not tell me to breathe. I've been breathing. But evidence-based say, breathe. That little boy said, don't tell me to breathe. I'm breathing. Ain't nothing changing.
Right. But if you can't,
ding.
Yeah, if you can't address the issue with your master's or your bachelor's degree or your associate's degree
or your doctorate
degree, it ain't doing nothing. It's a facade for show. Like this picture right here.
Right.
It's a picture.
Right.
Like, okay, we ain't knocking the picture, but it's
and
there. You know?
The words you said out of your 3 R's, relatable.
Relatable. Relevant. I can add.
Right.
Relevant, relatable, real, realistic. You know what I mean?
Period. So that piece. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you this, rounding up. What would you want, or what do you want the listeners right now to know about mental health that does not get talked about enough?
Address it. Look at it. Answer it. Talk about it. You got to talk about it. A guard told me when I was in prison that Wisconsin is pedophile capital, right? Okay. And they don't really get no time. So they have a problem. They mentally sick. They psychologically sick. It's more of them than anything. Especially when you go up north. When you go to Walsall, Green Bay, Chippewa Falls, La Crosse, and they don't really get no time. And Oshkosh is their Mecca. So they have to deal with the issues that got them engaging in deviant behavior, touching little kids and little boys and stuff, you know what I mean? Little girls. And so it's more of a psychological issue, a dilemma that you have to address. We all got to address it. The way I coped, I'm not going to lie, I turned to God because I know I had became a devil. I had a rock in my heart. I wanted to keep doing good. You know what I mean? I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? Just being real, because I was upset. I was disappointed. I was hurt. I was everything you could name of it, and I didn't like who I had became. So I turned to God. I'm not gonna lie. I turned to God because I didn't like my environment. I didn't like what I had became. I didn't like nothing. I was disgusted. It was despicable. You know what I mean? So that's where my trauma was at. I was hurt. I had kicked my family off my visitor list. Don't come see me because y'all didn't partake. That's what me and my sister talk about. Me and my sister real close. I'm close with all my sisters and brothers, but it's like, she was like, bro, she would tell me certain stuff like, bro, you know what I mean? And I tell her, like, as we get older, we got to just cut people off. They bring around negative energy, and the dead prey on the living. I'm Muslim for real. You know what I mean? Dead people prey on alive people. They take advantage of you. You looking out, mama them sending money, Auntie Lynn them sending money, Auntie Betty them, they sending money. Okay, you think you rich in the joint. So I told my nephew I want him to take that deal so he can come home. We got a daughter. You got the whole sale laid out. You got the rub, you got all the soups, you got everything. You got all the new hygiene, you got a brand new TV. You in prison. Because somebody taking care of you. You what I call a suckling. And a lot of people out here looking for a mama and a daddy. And the government know that.
Mm-hmm.
And they use that. They use that you ain't developed up here.
Right.
And they use that to pit us against each other. You got white people coming on Facebook talking about, I just drop off some drugs and guns in Chicago and watch them kill each other.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You see?
We gonna have a part 2.
Got to.
Because maybe we'll have a couple more too to join to get more in depth about that prison mentality, and then coming out here and realizing it's way more than 2,000 people out here, and mama and daddy now ain't sending nothing, or whoever was sending ain't sending nothing. So I welcome you back another sit down. I appreciate you spending your time with me today, Neef. You dropped some jewels.
Yeah.
You dropped some jewels, and the conversation is definitely needed and warranted.
Yes.
And so, thank y'all for listening and spending y'all time with us as well. Until we meet again. If they want to get in touch with you, though, Neef, is it a way do you mind if somebody reached out? What's your social media?
Shapiro Patton.
Okay.
Shapiro Patton. Yep. Shapiro Patton is that simple. I'm on Facebook.
Right.
You could text me or write me or call, whatever.
Right.
I'm open book.
Thank you for holding space for today's conversation. Remember, your mental health is your mental wealth. So please take care of yourself in whatever way you need to. If anything you heard brought something up for you, please remember you do not have to carry it alone. Support is available, and reaching out is a strength, not a weakness.